You are tuned in to Kids in the Pit. Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I have a guest host, my best friend Lucy Kohler, Pete from Sick of It All's daughter. We have Nate from Converge and Caven joining us.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Mind if we ask you some questions?
Not at all. Please ask.
Alrighty. What do you do in your bands?
I play bass in Cave-In and Converge, and I play guitar in Old Man Gloom and Doom Riders.
Nice. So how long have you been in Converge and Caven?
I've been in Converge since 1998.
Wow.
1998. Cave-In, I joined about 5 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. I heard there is a Kohler in Converge, and apparently we may be distantly related. Is he still in the band?
He is still in the band, and I didn't know that. So we're gonna have to bug him about that and find out the truth, because that's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, Craig had told me that you once broke your nose at a show and you put it back in place. So how did
He
you break
did.
your nose?
I was moshing too hard, and my face hit the back of someone else's head,
Oh.
and yeah, and that was it. That was it. And after the show, he was kind enough to straighten it out so I don't look too ugly.
Okay.
For those not familiar with either of your bands, what song should they look up?
Oh wow, I don't know. I guess with Converge, people usually start with the record Jane Doe, so maybe you could listen to the title track on that record, or you could listen to the first song on that record, Concubine. Those seem to be songs that people reference a lot. I don't know what to tell people to listen to because I like what I like, and I don't really know what other people like, to be honest. For Cave-In, they have a very, very long back catalog, and I only play on one of the records. I play on the newest record, Heavy Pendulum, and any song on that one is great. I think they're all good. But I think if I were to recommend a Cave-In song that I loved before I was in the band, it would probably be the song Big Riff.
Nice.
Nice.
So what is your favorite place you've toured in, and what's the most obscure place you've toured in?
New Zealand. New Zealand is my favorite place I've ever
Oh,
toured.
nice. You've been to New Zealand?
I have. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, New
And
Zealand's awesome.
I don't know if that's the most obscure place, but it's pretty far from where I live.
Yeah, it's like, so you're in the US, right?
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Because the opposite of the US is just right off the west coast of Australia.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's
I don't know.
I think it's like maybe like 20 miles or I don't know, but it's near the
Probably more than
west
20
coast.
miles.
Yeah, probably, but it's near the west coast of Australia.
So do you have any crazy
it's
funny tour stories that are appropriate to share with us?
crazy, I don't know. Fun. I can tell you about about touring in New Zealand, what made me love it so much. We Converge went to New Zealand to play some shows, and we got off the airplane at like 4:30 in the morning, and the person who had booked the tour and was sort of being our tour manager for those couple of days, we showed up and he said, "What do you guys want to do?" And we said, "What can we do?" And he said, "Well, I can take you to the hotel and you can sleep, or we could go to Hobbiton, or we could go whitewater rafting, or we could go cliff jumping, or we could um or we could go bungee jumping, or we could go to Talpo Hot Springs and get in the river. What do you think?" And we said,
Wow.
"Yes, let's do all of it." And so we did all of those things in one day. We went to Hobbiton and saw the set for the Lord of the Rings, and
That's amazing.
then we went whitewater rafting, and then we went bungee jumping, and then on the way while we were driving, we stopped and jumped off some cliffs into the ocean, and then
Wow.
we went to hot springs and went swimming, and it was awesome. And yeah, that's why touring New Zealand is so great.
That sounds awesome.
It was awesome.
So what was your first concert and how old were you?
I guess my first proper concert would have been the Ramones. When I was 12 or 13. I'm probably 13. I went to an Agnostic Front show before that, but I didn't stay very long because I didn't know what was going on and I was scared, and so I left.
Oh,
Who are some of your major musical influences?
I love the Bad Brains, Led Zeppelin, X, Black Flag, the early Rollins bands records. I don't know. I like all kinds of stuff. But I think that those are a good example of bands that made me want to play music.
cool. So what's a band you suggest people go see live?
Oh man. Well, if you get a chance to see Chelsea Wolfe live, you should really go see her. She's amazing. Um, wow, you put me on the spot. I don't know. I really, so there's a band that not many people know from Chicago that are about to do their first tour, and they're called Juna. It's spelled Djunah, and they're pretty incredible. Their singer Donna, she plays guitar and sings, and she plays all of the bass lines with her foot on a synthesizer pedal board.
Wow.
So she does, and she runs the guitar pedal board with her other foot
That's cool.
the whole time.
That's
While
awesome.
she's singing. It's pretty amazing. So if you get a chance, you should go see them.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. Go check them out.
How long would you survive in a zombie apocalypse?
Whew. I don't know. I'm kind of close to a big city, so I think it would be harder than if I was
Oh,
like out in the country. So it's tough to say. I hope I'd make it, but it's tough to say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people around here.
Your best bet would have to be getting in your car and driving somewhere far.
And just go to Nebraska, Wyoming, or Alaska.
Yeah,
Why those?
the problem is that you won't be able to farm in Alaska.
Well, yeah, but okay, so go to Wyoming or Nebraska because no one lives there.
Well, I think if you went somewhere with lots of trees that you could build a tree house, right?
Maybe if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
And then somewhere that got really cold so that the zombies would freeze and not be able to move. Maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's the World War Z zombies and they start climbing, I don't think I would be able to live through that. It's too hard. They run extremely fast.
Yeah, that's true. I never saw the World War Z movie. I only read the book. And so I don't think they climbed in the book. I think they just piled on top of each other.
Yeah, they didn't really climb it. And if you so in the book did it have Israel because the Israel wall, all of them climbed over. I remember that part of the
Oh.
movie.
Yeah, I believe they did. Well, they didn't. They kind of kept swarming and piling on top of each other, and then that's how they got over it.
Yeah,
I
because
think
people were
it's
way
been a
too
long time
loud.
since I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd have to go where they freeze, and
Yeah.
then
Yep.
and if it's freezing there, then hopefully you can like fish or something. Although I'm
Yeah.
vegetarian, so I don't know what I'd do.
No, you could start farming,
Maybe I'd
but
just,
you
But if
could
it's
like
too
you could do
cold-
hydroponics if you know how to do that.
I could. It'd be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier to just be a zombie.
Yeah, maybe just kill people.
Or just bite people and turn them into zombies.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's what I
I don't
meant
know.
by kill
You've given me a
people.
lot to think about here, guys.
Yep. So where did you grow up, and do you still live there?
I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I do not live there anymore. I
Oh.
moved away when I joined Converge.
Oh, okay.
What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten, or the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
In Japan one time, I ate an omelet that had ants in it.
Oh.
Oh.
Were they alive or dead?
I really only ate a bite of it. No, they were cooked. They were cooked ants.
Okay.
Were there a
in the
lot? Or
omelet.
was it just a few?
There were a lot. It was I did an interview on a Converge did an interview on a TV show that I think it was called Megalomaniacs, and I don't think it comes on on TV anymore. But
But was it country?
it was Friday. It was on Friday the 13th.
Crunchy.
And
Was the ant omelet?
yes, it was in the egg, and I did not like it, and I don't recommend it. But it was Friday the 13th, and so they tried to do all kinds of spooky stuff. And one of them was offering us really gross foods, and that was one of them.
Okay then. So what is one thing you wish could exist but doesn't at the moment?
Oh, I wish that there was a shot that I could get where they would just inject a new knee into my knees and fix my knee injuries because I messed my knees up from skateboarding too much.
Oh. Well,
If you
was
could,
it worth it? Was the skating worth it?
Yeah, I still skate.
Okay, nice.
if you could tell your 11-year-old self anything at the moment, I mean anything at all, what would you tell them?
What would I tell an 11-year-old?
Or like
If
your
you could tell
like
Just
your
about-
11-year-old self.
Oh, my 11-year-old self. What would I tell myself? That's a great question. I don't know what I would tell myself. Maybe I'm at a loss. Wow, you guys stumped me. I don't know. I guess I would say something like learn how to work on your car.
Okay. Well, anything to add before we wrap it up?
No, I think you guys asked some pretty good questions. I don't know what else to add. Thank you for having me on your show. I hope it was
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Good job, guys.
So thanks to Nate for joining us today, and thanks to all of you for watching or listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next
Until
week.
next week. Bye.
Bye.